Hey everyone, it's Dr. John, and today we're diving deep into the world of electrolytes, specifically potassium. You might know it as that thing on your banana, but potassium is absolutely crucial for keeping your body running smoothly. We're talking about everything from how your muscles contract to how your nerves send signals. It even plays a key role in making sure you stay properly hydrated. Now, most of the time, we don't think twice about potassium. But when your levels dip too low, a condition called hypokalemia, it can throw a wrench into your system and lead to some pretty noticeable symptoms. In this video, we're going to explore 7 of these telltale signs that your potassium levels might need a boost. Ignoring these signs can be detrimental to your health, so stay tuned because we're getting to the bottom of this.
Let's kick things off with one of the most common signs of low potassium muscle weakness. Ever feel that sudden unexplained lack of strength in your arms or legs? Like you just can't muster the same energy you're used to? Well, low potassium could be the culprit. You see, potassium acts like a spark plug for your muscles. When your potassium levels drop, those electrical signals that tell your muscles to contract don't fire as efficiently. This can leave you feeling weak and shaky, making everyday activities like climbing stairs or carrying groceries feel like Herculean tasks. And trust me, as someone who's lugged around her fair share of medical textbooks, you don't want to mess with muscle weakness. If you're noticing this kind of unexplained weakness, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms on this list, it's time to pay attention. Your body might be trying to tell you something. Don't worry, we'll talk about how to get your potassium levels back on track later in the video. But first, let's move on to our next sign.
Feeling constantly tired and drained, even after a good night's sleep? You're not alone. Millions of people struggle with fatigue, and while there are many potential causes, low potassium is a major contender that often gets overlooked. Remember how we talked about potassium being essential for muscle function? Well, that includes your heart, the hardest working muscle in your body. When your potassium levels are low, your heart has to work harder to pump blood effectively. This extra strain can leave you feeling exhausted and zapped of energy, even if you haven't exerted yourself physically. Imagine trying to run a marathon with a battery that's constantly draining. That's what low potassium can feel like for your body. It's like your internal battery is stuck on low power mode, making it difficult to power through your day with your usual vigor. If you're constantly hitting that afternoon slump or feeling like you need a nap just to function, it's worth checking your potassium levels. You might be surprised at what you find.
We've all been there, that sudden, sharp, involuntary tightening of a muscle that sends a jolt of pain through your body. Muscle cramps, especially in the legs and feet, are incredibly common, and while they're often harmless, they can also be a sign of an underlying issue like low potassium. Electrolytes like potassium play a crucial role in regulating muscle contractions. When your potassium levels are low, your muscles can become more excitable and prone to these painful spasms. Think of it like this: your muscles are like finely tuned instruments, and electrolytes are the conductors that keep them playing in harmony. When the balance is off, those instruments start to go haywire, resulting in those unwelcome cramps that can really cramp your style. Pay attention to the frequency and intensity of your muscle cramps. If you're experiencing them more often, or they seem particularly severe, it's worth getting your potassium levels checked.
Moving on to our next sign, let's talk about something we don't always associate with potassium digestion. Believe it or not, this mighty mineral plays a crucial role in keeping your digestive system running smoothly. Potassium helps regulate the muscle contractions that move food through your digestive tract, a process known as peristalsis. When your potassium levels are low, these muscle contractions can become weak and uncoordinated, leading to a whole host of digestive discomforts. Think about it. Your digestive system is like a well-oiled machine, and potassium is one of the key lubricants that keeps everything moving along as it should. Without enough potassium, that machine can start to sputter and stall, leading to symptoms like constipation, bloating, and even nausea and vomiting in severe cases. If you're experiencing persistent digestive issues, especially if they coincide with other signs on this list, low potassium could be a contributing factor.
Now let's talk about a sign that should never be ignored: heart palpitations. If you've ever felt like your heart skipped a beat, fluttered, or pounded in your chest, you know how unsettling it can be. While occasional palpitations are usually harmless, Frequent or persistent ones can be a sign of something more serious. And you guessed it, low potassium is often on the list of potential culprits. Remember, potassium is like the conductor of your heart's rhythm. It helps regulate the electrical signals that keep your heart beating at a steady and healthy pace. When potassium levels drop, these signals can get disrupted, leading to those irregular heartbeats that can feel downright alarming. Think of it like this: your heart is like a finely tuned timepiece, and potassium is one of the essential gears that keep it ticking with precision.
We're getting into some serious territory now with this next sign: breathing difficulties. While low potassium isn't always the first thing that comes to mind when we think about breathing problems, it can actually have a significant impact on our respiratory system. Here's how. Potassium plays a vital role in the function of our lungs, specifically the muscles involved in breathing. When potassium levels are low, these muscles can weaken, making it harder to take deep breaths and get enough oxygen. Imagine trying to inflate a balloon with a weak and tired set of lungs. That's what low potassium can feel like. You might experience shortness of breath, feel like you can't quite catch your breath, or even find yourself gasping for air, especially during physical activity. If you're experiencing any kind of unexplained breathing difficulties, it's crucial to seek medical attention immediately. Last but not least, let's talk about a surprising way that low potassium can affect us: our mood. You might not think of electrolytes as mood boosters, but it turns out they play a significant role in our mental well-being. Potassium is essential for proper nerve function, and that includes the nerves in our brain that regulate mood, concentration, and overall cognitive function. When potassium levels are low, these nerve signals can become disrupted, leading to a range of mood-related symptoms. Think of it like this: your brain is like a complex computer network, and potassium is one of the essential signals that keep the information flowing smoothly. When those signals are weak or disrupted, the whole system can start to malfunction. You might experience increased anxiety, irritability, or even feelings of depression when your potassium levels are low. It's important to remember that mood changes can have many causes, and low potassium is just one piece of the puzzle. So there you have it, 7 signs of low potassium you should never ignore. From muscle weakness and fatigue to heart palpitations and mood changes, the impact of low potassium on your body can be wide-ranging and significant. Remember, maintaining proper potassium levels is crucial for overall health and well-being. If you're experiencing any of the symptoms we discussed, don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare provider. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more informative videos on staying healthy and feeling your best. Until next time, stay informed, stay healthy.